everyone. I am Heather, and I'm here today with my daughter Megan.
Hi.
And my son Ben. And we are here to talk to you today about cruises. And specifically, we're here to give you a perspective from 3 different age groups about the difference between Royal Caribbean and Disney Cruise Line. These are the 2 probably most popular family cruise lines out there, and a lot of families may be trying to decide, should we take our family cruise on Royal Caribbean or should we take it on Disney Cruise Line? So we're here to help you make that uninformed choice. Okay, so I have been on 5 cruises, 2 on Royal Caribbean and 3 on Disney. Megan has been on 3 cruises, 2 on Disney and 1 on Royal Caribbean, and Ben has been on 2 cruises, 1 on Royal Caribbean and 1 on Disney. I have been on cruises without kids, with 1 kid, with 2 kids, with 3 kids, and on a multi-generational cruise with Grandpa, my husband, and kids. I've also been on a cruise with a baby, a preschooler, elementary school age kids, middle school kid, teenagers, and young adults. So I've pretty much done every possible combination of did I say without kids? Yeah, without kids. Yeah. The only thing I haven't done is gone on a cruise by myself, solo. However, I was thinking about this last night. I did take the ferry between like Ireland and Wales and England and the Netherlands a couple times. And those ferries are as big as cruise ships, so maybe we'll count that because I was by myself. But anyway, okay, so as you can see, we have quite a bit of experience. Megan was only a baby. Yeah, which
I don't know whether to count, like personally, whether to count that first cruise or not, because I didn't remember it. It's basically like I didn't go on it, but it was like I was there for them, but I wasn't there for me.
That's a good point. It was probably more important for me to be able to share the experience with you about what it's like to go on a cruise with an infant. She was only 5 months old at the time, and you can't even do that anymore. Cruise lines will not let you take a baby younger than 6 months, I think. And there might be some cruise lines that it has to be even older than that. And there are obviously some cruise lines that don't let you take babies or children at all. So, but today we're talking about Royal Caribbean and Disney. And we're going to break it down because I thought I'd give you different perspectives of what's it like for an adult, what was it like for a child teen, what was it like for a child, almost teen, different age kids, people's perspectives. Okay, so I'm going to go by, I'm going to present like a topic and then we're going to share our thoughts on each of that for both cruise lines. So first off, the departure experience. Now we live in Wisconsin, so we have to fly to basically anywhere we would be taking a cruise from. We could probably potentially drive, but I don't want to do that.
That'd be really far.
Yeah. So we have flown to Florida for all of these cruises, right? Every cruise we've been on has been out of Florida, out of either Port Canaveral or Miami. We have not gone out of any other cruise port. So I would say this. Both Disney and Royal Caribbean go out of both Port Canaveral and Miami. But our experience, interestingly, was all the cruises we've gone on Disney have been out of Port Canaveral, and all the cruises we've gone on Royal Caribbean have been out of Miami. So, yeah, we'll have to try to flip it around. The Magic does go out of Miami. Disney Magic goes out of Miami in the winter, and they usually have at least 1 Royal Caribbean, if not 2 ship ported in Port Canaveral, but we just happen to have not taken one from there yet. Okay, so I prefer the Orlando International Airport over the Miami International Airport.
There's a difference?
There is. Yeah, I think the Orlando International Airport is way nicer. The Orlando one is the one with the hotel inside, and it's that cool courtyard, and there's the fountain. There's the big Disney store.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
The Miami one was really It was not nice.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay, they don't remember the airports, but I'm just saying, I think the Orlando airport is nicer.
Orlando one.
Yeah. The Miami International Airport, remember both when we got there and when we left, it was pouring down rain and we were trying to get like our shuttle van. Okay, and then I felt that the cruise terminal, the Disney cruise terminal, where you get on the ship in Port Canaveral, is much nicer than the terminal, the Miami cruise terminal that we went out of in Miami. However, since our cruise a year ago, it was a year ago this month, August last year, Royal Caribbean has built and opened their new cruise terminal in Miami. I haven't been there yet, so we can't say if that one is how nice it is. It's probably really nice. We don't know. But I just personally thought that the terminal for Disney was nicer. Okay, however, I will say this, and I don't know if you guys remember the sail away on our last Disney cruise.
Sort of.
I thought the sail away in Miami was prettier.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There was more to look. When we sat on our aft balcony, do you remember that? We sat on our aft balcony. I made a video about it. Sail away from Miami.
We didn't
on Mariner of the
have a
Seas.
balcony on the Disney cruise.
We didn't have a balcony on the Disney cruise. We were standing outside though.
Wait. Okay.
The one
I don't remember that.
The one we took when you were a baby, we had a balcony and we sat out there. But don't you think that going out on the Miami River was really pretty and there was a lot to look at? The Miami skyline is really pretty. There were all those big fancy houses and condos and stuff. Yeah. I think that's a little more interesting to look at. Yeah. That's a little more interesting and visually appealing to look at than when you sail out of Port Canaveral. It's kind of blah. There's not really much to look at. And I think it's shorter. I don't think you have to go out as far before you get to the ocean. Okay, what about the ships? Meg?
Again, I don't really remember the Disney one that much.
It was only 2 years ago.
No, we went on another one since then.
Yeah, no, we went on Mariner of the Seas since
like
then.
overlapping.
Okay.
No.
Ben, what do you remember about the ships?
Well, I've only done 2.
Yeah.
They're big, obviously. There's a top, there's a bottom, there's a middle.
There's a top, there's a bottom.
I remember when we went on the Disney ship, you said, I really like the fancy.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he said that? I really like the fancy. He liked how elegant and pretty
I
it
remember
was.
it now.
Do you remember the red
I
chandelier
really
in the Wonder?
I really liked the carpets on that one.
Yeah, the carpets on the Disney cruise line.
It was red. That shouldn't have been red.
Yeah, the
it
one
was
on
like
Disney Wonder.
red
It's that red glass flower.
Oh, I was like a chandelier that dangles down, and then the little things.
Yeah,
that
it was
hold
more.
the
It was more
stuff.
flat. The old one used to hang down more, but after the refurb, they made it closer to the ceiling. I think because it blocked stuff. Yeah.
The deck still looked down.
Yeah, exactly. You also said when we went on Royal Caribbean, I like the white ships, Mom, like the Royal Caribbean ships, but I like the Disney ship better. You liked how the outside of the Disney ship looked better.
Yeah.
Would you agree, or do you not have a preference?
I don't really know.
I like how the Disney ships look on the outside because they look more like a classic ocean liner. You know, like the Titanic or the Britannia or something.
Colors.
Yeah, they have the same colors. I just think they look really classic and nice. I do like how the Royal Caribbean ships look, though. Would you say that as far as like cleanliness and comfort and visual appeal, that both ships were very nice? Would you agree?
I think they're tied in that category.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, on both ships you see people like cleaning all the time and fixing stuff and painting and
Imagine having to clean a ship.
yeah, the maintenance I think is top notch on both of them. Okay, what about the dining experience?
Oh, Disney for sure tops that.
Why did you like the Disney dining experience so much?
Well, first of all, I feel like the wait staff was more like involved with us.
Yeah, I think so too.
And
more personalized attention. Yeah.
And I mean, just the theming of the Disney ships obviously is really cool.
Why is the mailman here on Sunday? That's weird. Okay. And do you like the rotational dining? Where
Yeah,
you get
I
to
really
go.
like the rotational dining.
Now you really liked
Yeah, we wrote in
the dining experience on Royal Caribbean in the main dining room. Can you say exactly what you enjoyed about that so much?
Well, I like just how big and open it was, and then there was like a balcony, and then it was 3 floors.
Yeah, we were on the second floor, weren't we?
Yeah, I liked the setup of the dining room on Royal Caribbean, but the overall experience better
At Disney, yeah. Both, I mean, Royal Caribbean, there's one main, well, on the Mariner of the Seas anyway, there's one main dining room, and we were at a big round table right against the balcony, if you will, of the second level. And so we had kind of
No,
this.
we weren't.
Yeah, we were.
We were a good distance from the windows.
Yeah, we were.
Not the windows, the balcony overlooking
Oh,
the first
yeah.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
I
like.
thought you meant like
like
outside.
Yeah. So we could overlook the first floor of the dining room. The
that
dining
was
room
really
was,
cool.
and that was really pretty. And I'll try to put a picture in here of the dining room on the Royal Caribbean, on Mariner of the Seas. We were with another family, mom, dad, 2 kids. They were from California, San Diego. I think they were from San Diego, and which was totally fine. We were at a table for 8. And
Yeah.
since there was only 3 of us,
Yeah.
we had an empty chair, which if Andrew could have gone, that would have been where he sat. But anyway, how did you like the food on Royal Caribbean? I really liked the desserts.
Yeah, the
Same.
desserts.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Actually.
I think something that Ben probably liked a lot was you just liked that at the end of the day, we had that nice, elegant, fancy experience of being served in this very pretty setting, and it was just kind of,
It's like satisfying.
yeah, exactly. And
If I'm being honest, I almost felt like uncomfortable with that. Like
it was too much.
it was too much, and I'm like, I don't really feel like I fit here. Like, what if I mess up? What if
Oh,
And
like
I
were you
felt like
worried
there
about
was
like the
a lot
which
of
fork to use? And,
no, that not that. Just like I just felt like there was a lot of expectation. Like I had to be
on your
this-
best
I had to be on my best
behavior.
behavior, and I had to like, yeah, a little bit with the different settings. Like, oh, this is where your napkin goes, and
Did you feel
These
less that
forks.
way on Disney because it's more of a casual?
yeah,
There's a lot of kids, obviously, in the Disney dining rooms. The other thing about the Disney dining rooms is if you're not familiar with rotational dining, each Disney Cruise Line ship has 3 main dining rooms, and they're all very heavily themed, like anything Disney does.
Tiana's place was my favorite.
Tiana's place was, Disney Wonder had just come out of her, both of these ships, when we went on these last 2 cruises, had just come out of refurbishments and had a lot of new features. Tiana's place had just replaced Carioca's,
Karaoke.
or was that on the Magic? Whatever the restaurant
Sounds fun.
was before, it was Brazilian Steakhouse.
Oh,
I think that was on the Magic though, and Rapunzel's replaced it. I can't remember what it was on the Wonder. If anybody knows, put it in the comments below. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, and even before that, when we went on the Wonder before and the Magic before, that restaurant on level, I think it's on 2 aft, was always a lively Caribbean themed restaurant. I remember that's where we had our character breakfast, and on both the Magic and the Wonder, it was the same thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a very colorful, lively Caribbean kind of place. And they replaced that on the Wonder with Tiana's place, which is themed after Princess and the Frog and New Orleans Southern kind of thing. And Megan really enjoyed that. And the one on the Magic is now Rapunzel's. And it has this both of them have kind of an interactive dinner show element
yeah.
with the characters. They're coming around and they talk to you and they take pictures and then they do music and a show. So it's a very lively kind of fun atmosphere, which I can see what you're saying is you liked that better. And then the food in Tiana's place is kind of Southern New Orleans style stuff. The other 2 restaurants on the Wonder are Triton's, which is the fancy royal kind of one.
Wait, on the Wonder?
On the Wonder, it's Triton's. On
Did
the
you go to that?
yeah, it's the one out right off the atrium.
I only half remember that one.
It's also on the other ships. It's like the Royal Palace or the Royal Court or it's like a fancy castle-y type atmosphere. And then the other one is Animator's Palette. And Animator's Palette is on all 4 ships. And I really like Animator's Palette.
Yeah.
It's black and white
It's
and
fun.
and has the whole animation concept. What did you think of the food? Remember?
No, I don't remember.
You remember the food very well?
Animator's Palette, I remember, I did not like anything on the menu, and they ended up bringing me like a little kid plate of chicken strips, and that's all I ate.
The one thing on any cruise line that you have to realize is they're very accommodating of your dining requests. If you don't like something, they'll take it away. If you love this thing, you can have as many of them as you want. Wasn't there some kind of soup or something? Did you? French onion
I
soup?
think I got 2 French onion soups.
And I got like, I don't know, 3 pieces of key lime pie or something. I don't know. I kept.
we
And
just kept piling on
kept
the desserts.
the other mom at our table, she like didn't
That
eat
was on Royal Caribbean.
on Royal Caribbean on Mariner of the Seas.
Yeah.
Thank you. She didn't eat anything like ever, and the
her
server kept
desserts,
bringing her
and she didn't
desserts,
ask for
and
them.
she's like, I don't want this, and so she
And so
kept.
we just got them.
We just kept eating them. So, but you can, if you really like, you don't have to get, an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. You can get just 2 appetizers. You can get just dessert. You can get 3 of something. You can get whatever you want. It's all included in your cruise fare. And if you don't like something, they will very happily give you something different. They want you to be happy. On this last cruise on the Disney Wonder, I was apparently so picky. They were very concerned with my satisfaction that when we were in Animator's Palette on the last night, the head chef actually came out to talk to me and wanted to know, was everything okay? And I'm like, no, it's fine. I just had a hard time deciding.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I did say to him though is I said, I would like to see more vegetarian options on your menu. And he was like, okay, thanks. I appreciate that. Because I really did feel like a lot of the meals on cruise ships involve like a very large piece of meat.
Yeah. Like, roast this and
Yeah.
beef that.
Right. There's a lot of meat and they really do need to expand their vegetarian options. Okay. Kids clubs.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well,
They went in the Disney Wonder Kids Club for an hour.
yeah, and we were basically forced to stay there because I didn't know how to leave.
You could have
I
checked.
couldn't have.
Yeah. I
gotten
don't think
to
you could have left. Could you have left Ben?
I
He
don't
was old
wanna
enough to
leave
go out by
Ben.
himself.
I wouldn't have left Ben.
If they're 9 and up, I think they can check themselves out. And I think you both could have checked yourselves out.
I
but
don't know,
They
but-
didn't know.
I didn't want to like walk away from the people. and
Were you
they
in
were
there
like,
for
"Where are you
any
going?"
organized activity?
Yeah. The only time we went in there was to make cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And it was absolutely awful. First of all, okay, I feel like maybe for little kids who really enjoy stuff like that, like just like little activities with a bunch of people, it'd be fun. But for like antisocial people like Ben and I, it was not fun at all. There were literally, oh my God, there were so many kids there, and we were like the oldest ones.
They're not antisocial. They're introverts. They value their quiet time
Same
and they, we like each other.
like each other.
So, but I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, you don't like big, huge crowds, groups
But
of
there
people.
there were a lot of people. And the first thing that happened when we started getting set up for this activity was Ben and I were separated because there were so many people. And like some adult came and dragged him over to that table, and I was stuck at this table because there was no room for us to be together.
Oh.
And I really did not like that. And
Did they
I
know
don't
that
even-
you were
I don't
siblings?
even know if they realized that.
Yeah.
But then we kept like having to look at each other and like eye communicate across the room
Oh.
because we were so far apart. And I really did not like that. I did not like being away from him. And I don't know if they realized that they were separating siblings like that.
I feel like they wouldn't separate siblings if they
knew we were siblings.
And, maybe if Meg had thought to speak up or something,
Yeah.
maybe they wouldn't have. But I can't speak to this because when we went on the Disney Magic, when Andrew, my oldest son, is 22 years old and lives on his own in another state. But that's why he's not part of this video. But anyway, he went in the kids club a lot. He was 4 years old at the time, and it was just him and me on the ship. And he loved it. However, Andrew went to daycare. These guys did not. I was home with both of them when they were was home raising them. and they never went to daycare. And so, I mean, you went to preschool when you were 3.
Preschool was school.
Like 2 days a week, and they
That was
went
fun.
to 4K. That was their first
I didn't go to
experience.
4K, did I?
4K was fun.
Yeah, Kids USA.
Oh.
Anyway, they just didn't have the same experience when they were that young age of being in a large group of kids like that in that kind of structured setting, whereas Andrew did, and he loved going in there. But I think that was just a difference also in his personality.
Yeah.
And so
Andrew's really outgoing and
yeah, talks to everyone.
Talks to everyone.
Yeah. The last time we went to Disney World with Andrew in 2015, he talked to everybody everywhere and found out where they were from and was keeping track. I mean, people in the lines, people sitting next to him on rides, people on the bus. And he had kept track, and I think, I don't know, he got like 35 states and 15 countries or something like that. He was speaking to people in French because there were a bunch of people from Quebec. And yeah,
It was really cool.
it was cool, but he's just more like that he'll just talk to anyone, and these guys are a little bit more reserved. So anyway, so they can't tell you anything about the kids club. They're not saying, the kids clubs are very nicely done.
They are nicely done. I just don't think it was for us.
Right.
Which
They prefer to be with me.
Which I guess sort of taints our opinion on this.
Yeah.
Because we can't express it from a view of someone who would actually enjoy the kids clubs.
Right. And so then on Royal Caribbean, they didn't even go in there at all.
I tried to go into the teen club, but I was late, and immediately I'm just like, no, bye.
You felt awkward and weird because
I
you were late.
left.
And you didn't go in the kids club at all. Did we
No.
even look at it? We on the day we got on the
looked at
ship, we walked through on the open house. But I don't even think we would have looked in. We looked in the one that
No.
would have been for your age group. Yeah. So they didn't participate in that at all. So we can't speak to that. And one thing I said in my other video that I made, I'll put a link to it up here about Disney versus. No, it's left.
What? It's left?
Yeah.
It's right.
Oh, yeah,
It
it's
shows
left.
up there, but it's reversed.
It's left.
It's this one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Anyway,
So I'm actually on that side, and she's on this side.
possibly we'll have to see when it airs.
So weird.
Anyway,
That's why what you do
we
is
could
can't
just
tell.
do this somewhere up there.
Just put it
It'll do-
here. Just put it
We'll
up
put
in
it
the
up
middle.
above us.
Over there.
Put it in the
There's
middle.
gonna be there's gonna be a link to that video where on our Mariner of the Seas cruise, I did a comparison video from our stateroom. And one of the things I talked about was that Disney does a better job of coming up with activities for the whole family to do together. And Royal Caribbean, we felt like that was kind of lacking.
Royal Caribbean, I felt like there weren't really much activities,
Period.
period.
Yeah. There was a lot of time on Royal Caribbean where we were kind of
We
bored.
were really bored.
We because once we had done the slides, we did the water slides and
We did the sky pad.
we did the rock climbing wall, and we didn't want to do flow rider. We did laser tag. We did the ice skating.
Like once we
Like
did everything.
you did each
you ran
activity
out
and
of
then you
stuff
ran
to
out of
do.
stuff to do.
Yeah.
Whereas one of my favorite things on Disney is there's so many activities you can't possibly go to them all. You're actually sitting there looking at the
You're trying to figure
thing,
out.
trying to figure out, okay, should we go to this or this?
Because they're at the same time.
Right, exactly. There's so many activities on Disney that you'll never run out of stuff to do. I mean, they have lots of stuff. And let's talk about favorites for a second here. So my favorite things.
I don't remember particularly the activities that were on Disney. Just like that was a lot and we liked it.
Yeah, well, here, I'll tell you my favorites on Disney. My
Okay.
favorite is I love the ships. I love the rotational dining. I love the shows.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of shows on Disney.
Disney
and, like,
has a wonderful
I don't
show
think
every
we
night.
We
We went to a couple shows on Royal
went to
Caribbean,
a couple shows in Royal Caribbean.
but we weren't
We went to
hugely
Beauty and the
impressed.
Beast a couple times.
The new movie,
new
they
movie,
they do
the live
Disney
action
movie premieres on the ship, so whenever the movie comes out on land, it also is released on the ship. So you're actually getting to go to a new Disney movie that you didn't actually have to pay extra for because it's included in your cruise fare. I love the fact that Disney has a cinema to go to movies. And I love all the character meet and greets.
Yeah.
And I love all the family activities. One of the things we really liked was all the games. I got to play Who Wants to Be a Mouseketeer, and I won. with help from you guys. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but it was Who Wants to Be a Musketeer.
When was that?
On the Disney cruise. I got called up, they picked my number, and I went up and got to answer the questions. You don't remember that?
I don't remember
I'll
that.
put in a picture right here. I won because I used a lifeline and Megan knew the answer. How do you not remember that? Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I remember, like,
and
karaoke in that one room,
karaoke
and
she
that's
loves.
it.
There's karaoke on the Disney ships. There's karaoke on Royal Caribbean, but she wasn't old enough. It was like more of a bar activity. And then like the one where we had to hold the thing up on our heads and guess what character we were. Do you remember
Hands
that?
up.
I mean, her. Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah. You did really good, actually.
Yeah.
Did you
I
have
remember-
Lightning McQueen?
Yeah.
I had Pinocchio. I remember that.
I vaguely remember that.
There's
I
just
remember there being activities that we went to and did.
Yeah. You
I
learned
don't
how to
remember what they
draw.
were.
You learned there was like an animation class.
That's where that was.
You went to towel folding, napkin folding.
That's where that
That's
was.
all on
Oh.
Disney. They have all that stuff on Disney.
Yeah, and I did Donald Duck.
Yep, there's just
Oh, okay.
constant cool, fun family activities like that all the time on Disney to go to. And there's characters everywhere that you can meet.
That's one thing about Royal Caribbean, because it's not themed like Disney is.
Right.
Like, obviously Disney
There's nothing like that.
is movies and stuff. There's
Right.
just not characters on the Royal Caribbean, and the characters are a very big part of it, the Disney experience, because you get to meet these iconic people and stuff,
Right.
and it's just really
And the
cool.
lines are way shorter than they are at the theme parks. There's characters out every night before and after dinner, and then at other places too. There's a couple of them that are ticketed events, like to meet the princesses. You have to get a ticket, a reserve time, but you don't have to pay any extra for it. Both of these ships had a promenade walk around. That's the other thing that I really like, is being able to walk
really
around
like
and
that.
see the ocean. I haven't been on one of the like Oasis class ships on Royal Caribbean, but in the videos I've seen, one of the things that concerns me about those is that you can't really see the ocean. Unless you have like a balcony stateroom, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of places where you can really just sit and watch the water.
That's
and
like
I
the whole point of a cruise.
Right, and I think that's
The
something that you
ocean,
really
yeah.
liked, isn't it, Ben?
I just sat on the balcony
I
all
like.
day.
Yeah, Ben really liked to just sit out on the balcony and look at the ocean and the sunset, and I liked that app. Oh, let's talk about our staterooms.
Okay. Both of them were good. I mean, like, I was fine with an inside stateroom.
We had an inside stateroom on the Disney Wonder because we booked it last minute.
It wasn't really a problem with, like, seasickness or anything.
No.
I think
It's very spacious still,
it's very
too.
spacious. It's,
Both of our staterooms on both ships were actually very spacious.
I mean, there was the queen bed.
The
that we
queen
had.
bed
We had
that
the
you
queen
and I
bed,
shared, and then the boys had the
bunk
bunks.
beds.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of room. I mean, there was still an entire, like, vanity and stuff at the foot of our bed. And there was
Both
a
staterooms
TV.
had a lot of storage.
Yeah, there were lots of covers.
Yeah, places to unpack and put
Mhm.
things. What did you
Yeah.
think of the different stateroom? I mean, you really liked the balcony.
Yeah.
I really liked the balcony
Yeah,
too.
I did too.
But I felt like almost the Royal Caribbean room, like inside, almost felt smaller,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah, I think so
weird.
too. I almost wonder if that's because of the configuration of
Yeah.
our room on Disney. It was turned sideways.
It was like sideways,
and so just the way you came in and stuff, it did feel bigger even though it was inside.
there was an empty like space in
Space,
front of the bunk
yeah.
beds, and with the two, what was it, king beds that we had on Royal Caribbean. Those were
Yeah, it was
those
like a
beds were
king, and then
huge.
the couch folded out into the bed that Ben slept on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't like on Royal Caribbean, and I'm guessing we could have asked him, on our Royal Caribbean cruise, the service was fantastic. Our stateroom attendants on every ship I've ever been on have been wonderful. I always want to tip them extra because they work so hard.
Yeah.
Our stateroom attendant on Disney, and I remember this, if you use those bunks, they turn it back into the couch during the day, no matter what. So you have a couch to sit on during the day.
Like, wasn't there bunk beds on Disney? Also the couch,
Yes.
like the one folded up into the ceiling.
Right. But we didn't have, on Royal Caribbean, we only got to use that couch, which was a great couch,
Like
on the
very
first day. And then once Ben slept in it, he left it as a bed the whole time we were on the cruise, which I really didn't like because, first of all, it took up all that open floor space that you're talking about, and we had to, kind of walk around the bed. And secondly, we didn't have a couch to sit on.
Yeah.
So when we came back to the room,
we
like
had
if
to just like
we had to
lounge on
sit
the
in, we had the
beds.
one chair by the vanity or sit on the beds. And I think if we would have asked our stateroom attendant, he would have
He
turned
would have
it back
done it.
into a couch. But on Disney, they do it automatically. So that's just kind of a little extra thing. I mean, I have experienced an inside stateroom, an ocean view stateroom where you just have a porthole or window and a balcony. I definitely would like to have a balcony every single time, but I do not have a problem with either of the other kinds.
The one thing about our aft balcony was that because it was like on the part of the ship that was like
The back?
no, like what's that called? Diagonal.
Oh, it's slopey.
Yeah, it's like slopey, so like we could see all the other
people below us. Yeah,
we could see all the people below us, and the people above us could see us.
we were at the top though.
We were.
Above us was the restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, we were at the top. Directly above us was whatever the buffet is called.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have anybody looking down on us, but yes, she has a good point.
We could see all the people.
If you're in those aft balconies, you can see the people down below you because each balcony juts out a little farther on aft than the one above it.
It's like you could snowboard down.
Right, exactly. So yeah, really quick, and then we'll wrap it up. What were you guys' favorites about each thing?
Ooh.
I said my favorites about Disney. My Royal Caribbean, I mean, the ships are nice. The service is really good. I liked the dining experience.
Yeah, Disney, I think it's the dining experience for me too.
Okay.
Um,
Royal Caribbean, one thing I'll say is if you're going to choose Royal Caribbean, I would say Royal Caribbean is better for more adventurous, outdoor, sporty people. Would you agree?
yeah, because there was like an entire sports deck.
Right. And also, if you're if you drink and go to the casino, you will like Royal Caribbean better. There's no casinos on Disney ships, which I couldn't care less. I don't go to the casino at all, and I don't drink. So the bar situation, both of them have lots of great bars and lounges. There's a whole adults area only
But
ship on
obviously
Disney.
We don't go in
But we
that.
didn't use them, so that's not really relevant to us. But I mean, you're not going to go wrong with that either. But if the casino is important to you, you want to be aware that Disney does not have casinos.
It's like Disney is a family cruise. Yeah, Disney is more of a family cruise line, and Royal Caribbean is sort of more adultish.
Yeah.
Like there were kids. I mean, we were there. The family we were sitting with had kids. There were lots of kids,
But definitely not as many as on
definitely not
Disney.
as many as.
And this was in the summer. So, and I would say when I went on my honeymoon on Royal Caribbean, it was October, late October. And gosh, I don't remember seeing any kids at all.
Yeah.
When school's in session, there could be few to no kids on a Royal Caribbean cruise. You're going to see a lot of kids on Royal Caribbean when there are school breaks, summer. So just in conclusion, Ben, do you have anything to say, like in conclusion?
No, not really. You didn't say.
Would
his
you be,
favorites.
what were your favorites on each one?
Well, I like the dining. I like the dinner at Royal Caribbean, and then I liked the activities on the Disney ship, and the balcony on the
Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean.
But do you think you'd be happiest if you just had a balcony stateroom on whatever cruise we're
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, that's fine.
You like that connection to the ocean though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, if you had a choice between the same exact cruise itinerary and length on Royal Caribbean or Disney, which one would you pick?
I'd rather go on Disney because I mean there's more things to do and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Disney.
I would too. I would choose Disney. But I posed a question to the kids the other day, and this was tough.
Gosh.
Because of the cost difference. Now, there are reasons for the cost difference. I will argue overall Disney is a higher quality product. You do get some things included on Disney that you do not get included on Royal Caribbean. For example, soda. You get unlimited soda and drinks on Disney. It's extra, you have to pay extra for that on Royal Caribbean and most other cruise lines. You know, and then things like the characters and the rotational dining and stuff like that is just, and most of the staterooms have you basically have 2 bathrooms on Disney.
Yeah.
So you know, there's just there's a reason it's more expensive, but it is significantly more expensive. So if you're looking at a 7-night Eastern Caribbean on Royal Caribbean and a 7-night Eastern Caribbean on Disney, Disney's going to cost way more. So I posed the question to the kids the other day, a 3-night on Disney or a 7-night on Royal Caribbean? Ben chose the Royal Caribbean.
I didn't choose. I cannot.
She couldn't choose.
Oh my gosh. Because, okay, there are a few things with that. Disney would not be enough for me. But honestly, I think 7 nights on Royal Caribbean.
You mean 3 nights wouldn't be enough for you?
That's what I said.
Oh, you said Disney wouldn't be enough for you.
Yeah, 3. No, well, 3 nights on Disney would not be enough for me because there's so much to do on Disney.
That's true.
And I feel like, how many nights did we go on Royal Caribbean?
4. Both of our last 2
I
cruises
feel
were
like
4 nights.
Even the 4-night
It's
on the
too
Royal
short?
Caribbean, no,
was too long.
much for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about it, but I just did not like Royal Caribbean, and I don't think I could do a 7-night. Even
You
though
think you'd get bored?
I think I'd get
I
really,
do too.
really bored.
I think I would get bored. We actually broke down and got the internet package, the data package, the last 2 days because we were so bored.
We were so bored. We didn't have anything to do.
We didn't have anything to do, so he could use his tablet and we could use our phones. So I mean, yeah, I agree with her. You really almost. Then that's. I'm trying to figure out our next cruise, and I really think we might have to just wait longer to go on our next cruise so we can do a 5 or 6 or 7 night Disney.
That'd be great.
Because she's right. There's so much to do on Disney. You can't get it all in.
You cannot get it all in.
I mean, you could literally not leave the ship at all and you still wouldn't be able to get it all in. There's so much.
And then there's still the ports, like.
Right. And then, yeah, we didn't even talk about
adventure.
ports. I mean, ports doesn't depend on your cruise line. It depends
Yeah.
on, but.
Except the private islands, but that's.
And you have
sort of the same.
you have a good point. If we were going to do another Royal Caribbean, I almost think we should just do a 3-night.
Yeah. I feel like 3-night would be enough to do the activities we did
On the
last
ship.
time. But.
And maybe get off at Coco Cay or
But
something.
we wouldn't have so much as to be.
Yeah, that's a
bored
really good point.
with.
Because I was thinking about doing it the other way around for price, but I think she's right. I mean, would you agree? Rather do a longer Disney and a shorter Royal Caribbean. Yeah. So that's kind of our opinions. And I thank you guys for contributing because you both have some really good points that I didn't think of. And I hope that helps you in your decision making. And keep in mind, I mean, we're unique individuals. You might be a different kind of person than we are. We're kind of indoor people.
Yeah.
we're kind of indoor people. We're very bookish. We read a lot and go to a lot of movies and go to a lot of theater. So we play, Ben makes videos. And so, I mean, we do, that's the kind of people we are. We're kind of cerebral and not sporty and not real. I mean, we like stuff. I mean, like Meg will totally go on a zip line and jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
She'll do that.
I
I'm
would so
really
do
nice
that.
too.
Yeah, they're totally going to do that.
I like thrilling stuff.
She likes roller coasters.
I just don't like outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
Or 500K.
Oh my gosh, she's going to jump out of an airplane at 500,000 subscribers.
I want to do it
guys, so-
sooner. Can I do it at
Yep.
1,000?
I
Okay.
will go with you.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of our thoughts on that. I hope that this video was helpful to you and that you enjoyed this. And thank you so much to my kids for helping me with this video. And everybody, safe travels.
We can make a wildfire getaway.